PayPal, please. Keep us on the air. Patrick Gosage was the press secretary to Pierre Elliott Trudeau. He joins me right now because we've talked about Pierre's son. I want to talk to you about the party because there are essays being written now that globalism from the 80s and 90s is over. Liberalism is over. I've spoken to people really engaged in the party who are saying Justin has ignored the party and the party is finished. Is there room in the future in Canada for the Liberal Party of Canada?
Well, I think there's always room for a progressive party. There's always room for a party that looks like the government exists to, in fact, improve people's lives. And people like, just a minute, people like Paul Revere, who believes the least government is the best, ignore the fact that the governments can do things to make people's lives better. And that's why a progressive approach to politics will always have some basis of appeal for people.
But is there a limit to how far government can go to make people's lives better? In fact, there's almost like an equation where it goes up and they say, now you're not making life better, you're making life more complicated, more expensive, and we want less government in certain aspects. We want better government, but less.
Well, yeah, and I also think, but what you're not paying any attention to is the fact that this government, the young Trudeau government, has in fact improved people's lives with the child credits.
Yes.
And with kids who never could afford dental care are now getting it. I mean, there've been a number of really good, and I believe that in the next few months we're going to hear some major investments in housing that people can afford. And Trudeau is absolutely obliged to do this. This is the biggest crisis that Canada is facing. It's driving young people nuts.
Agreed. I know people who move back with their parents.
He has the levers to make something happen and to get the government back in housing again. And I think that's going to happen. If it isn't, I will be very surprised, and he'll deserve to lose the next election.
Okay, I agree with you on that.
And that's a liberal active government policy.
Oh, there's no question about that. And in the 80s and the 70s, the Liberal government brought in a lot of housing, particularly in urban centers, and then it was dropped. But what about people complaining about the fact that the gas tax is knocking them out and it's not doing anything for climate change?
Well, it's for the government to prove that it is, and I agree with you, it hasn't. And a lot of people watching this government simply feel that it's absolutely useless at communicating what it has done and what it's doing in the climate area. And I think there's something to be said for that. I want somebody like Guilbeault, the new Minister of the Environment, to tell me just how the money we're paying
for
the tax, how it is in fact helping reduce climate change. And nobody has told me yet.
Because they can't, but that's my view for another day. Patrick, thank you. 3 minutes. Liberties and freedom of speech are under attack in Canada like never before. So let's keep this discussion on the air. PayPal, write a check, and please include your address so I can write a thank you letter to you. And ask your friends, please subscribe. It's important to keep this on the air. And thank you.